Namaskar, a new postcard has arrived, and this time it is from the scenic valley of Kashmir. Apart from its stunning natural beauty, Kashmir is known for its beautiful woolen shawls, Kashmiri embroidery, ferns and other items such as carpets and rugs. These inspired creations, resplendent with colors of a raging Kashmiri spring season, are popular all over India and abroad for their alluring designs, warmth and sophistication. Let's start with Pashmina. Pashmina refers to a fine variant of spun cashmere, the animal hair fiber forming the downy undercoat of the Changthangi goat. The word Pashm means wool in Persian, but in Kashmir, Pashm refers to the raw unspun wool of domesticated Changthangi goats. In common parlance today, Pashmina may refer either to the material or to the variant of the Kashmir shawl that is made from it. Both generic cashmere and Pashmina come from the same goat, but generic cashmere ranges from 12 to 21 microns in diameter, whereas Pashmina refers only to those fibers that range from 12 to 16 microns. Goats used for Pashmina shed their winter coat every spring. One goat sheds approximately 80 to 170 gram of fiber. In the spring, the molting season, the goats naturally shed their undercoat, which regrows in winter. This undercoat is collected by combing the goat, not by shearing, as in other fine wools. A traditional producer of Pashmina wool in the Ladakh region of Himalayas are a people known as the Changpa. These are a nomadic people and inhabit the Changthang Plateau of Tibet, which has a minimum altitude of 13,500 feet above sea level. The Changpa rear sheep in these harsh climates for meat and Pashmina goats for wool. Raw Pashmina is exported to Kashmir. All steps from combing, removing impurities and guard hair and aligning fibers, spinning, weaving and finishing are traditionally carried out by hand by specialized craftsmen and women. The major center of Pashmina fabric production is in the old district of the city of Srinagar. The approximate time put into producing a single traditional Pashmina stole is 180 hours. Samples of wool fibers discovered from corroded copper artifacts from Harappa dating back to the Indus Valley civilization are extremely fine and resemble Pashmina and Shartush. In Mughal times, this was used as an indicator of rank and nobility. In 1526, Babur founded the Mughal Empire in India and established the practice of giving khilat or robes of honor, typically made of expensive fabric, to members of the darbar to indicate high service, great achievement or royal favor. These could be made of Pashmina and embroidered in gold cloth. In 1568, Kashmir was conquered by Babur's grandson Akbar. In Akbar's time, a pair of Pashmina shawls were an expected part of khilat ceremonies. From the 16th to the early 20th century, the Safavid, Zand and Qajar emperors of Iran also wore Pashmina and gifted Kashmiri shawls as khilat within their political and religious practices. Pashmina blankets were also vital additions to a wealthy woman's dowry in the region. In 19th century English writing, despite the fact that shawls were worn by men, Kashmiri shawls became coded as women's luxuries. They acquired the status of heirlooms worn by a girl on her marriage and coming of age, and as heirlooms that women would inherit rather than purchase. Since English law restricted women's abilities to inherit land, the Kashmiri shawl served as an item of high exchange value that a woman could carry. In France, the Pashmina Kashmiri shawl gained status as a fashion icon through Empress Josephine's enthusiastic use. These shawls suited the French well, providing the needed warmth while adding visual interest to white French gowns through the traditional teardrop boutta pattern and discreet floral motifs. As a class marker, it fulfilled 19th century French tastes because it looked rich, had extensive ornamentation, artistic qualities, and was made of expensive raw materials. Shartush, a Persian word meaning king of fine wools, is a fine type of wool made from the hair of the Tibetan antelope or chiru. It is also a metonym for a type of Kashmiri shawl traditionally made of Shartush wool, which was so fine that it could pass through a finger ring and yet be very warm. The Shahtul shawl is now a banned item, with possession and sale being illegal in most countries, for the chiru is an endangered species under CITES. In recent times, Kani shawls of Kashmir have gained popularity as collector's items. A Kani shawl originates from the Kanihama area of Kashmir. It is one of the oldest handicrafts of Kashmir. The shawls are woven from Pashmina yarn into intricate designs depicting the flora and fauna of Kashmir. This shawl has a geographical indication, making it illegal to sell shawls made outside of the Kanihama area as Kani shawls. Another inspirational craft of Kashmir is the Kashmiri embroidery or Kashida. Hand-embroidered shawls, firans, scarves, saris from Kashmir have been prized possessions in eclectic wardrobes with their understated elegance. These colorful creations for centuries accentuated the beauty of elegant Kashmiri women. Kashmiri embroidery or Kashida originated in the 3rd century BC. Slowly, by interventions by different rulers in the shawl making industry, the art form became more intricate and adapted to global tastes. By the end of 17th century, Kashmiri embroidery was popular not only in Asia but also Europe and beyond. Now, when we talk of design, the Mughal and Persian blend gave way to changes in the designs over centuries. Artists often draw inspiration from what surrounds them. So, predictably, the popular motifs which gained prominence in Kashmiri embroidery are floral motifs such as lily, saffron flower, iris, and lotus. You see a lot of fruit motifs such as almonds, plums, cherries, grapes, and apples. Bird motifs such as woodpecker, parrot, canary, magpie, kingfisher. Other motifs like butterflies, chinar leaves, and paisley are also very common. With machines coming into play, the handmade shawl, which takes months to get to market, is ready in hours and sadly doesn't have the same exclusivity as the hand embroidered ones. Many hubs in Punjab, such as Ludhiana and Amritsar, now mass produce imitation Kashmiri embroidery and shawls. Also, the years that Kashmir suffered from terrorism, the state craft was affected. Now, with peace being restored in the valley, this cottage industry is again beginning to bloom. The in-between years negatively affected the livelihood of many artisans whose families for centuries have been dedicated to this art form and passed it on as a skill from generation to generation to keep it alive. When we talk of Kashmiri embroidery in the modern era, garments embellished with Kashmiri embroidery transport us to the snow-capped locales as seen in the background of Bollywood movies, from Kashmir Ki Kali to Rockstar. A Kashmiri embroidered shawl or a kaftan or a firan has always been a fashion statement piece for many of us who grew up watching these movies. Wearing a Kashmiri embroidered outfit and getting clicked on a shikara or sauntering by a rivulet amidst a snowy winterland had always been most of our bucket list. In recent times, many Instagram handles from Kashmir have gained great popularity and fueled this craze. This year, the vibrant Kashmiri embroidered firan has made a comeback in velvet and is scorching runways and boutiques. The noted Sufi poet Amir Khusro said once, "Agar firdaus bar ruhe zaminast, haminast, haminast, haminast," which means if there is a paradise on earth, it is this, it is this, it is this. There is no doubt that even if you have not visited Kashmir yet, these exquisite Kashmiri creations have enveloped us in their sublime warmth, giving us a little taste of paradise. Thank you for watching Postcards from Bharat. Namaskar.